So 24-17, the All Blacks take the second test. It is 2-0. I think they deserve to win this second game, although England made it close. Let's get into it, talk about some of the themes that came up. It was a very quick game, maybe a bit messy from both sides, probably not as nice to watch as the first one, I guess. England were put under a lot of pressure by the New Zealand defence that I thought was really good all game, probably their best point actually. And Freddie Stewart early on gets in trouble, can't get out of trouble with that less pace he has. He's replacing George Furbank, and it's not like I'm trying to pick on Freddie Stewart. It's just he's simply not quick enough to play international fullback. I'm sticking with that one. They could have played Carpenter, they didn't. I think that was a big mistake as he did struggle. But on the first attack, luckily for England, they got out of jail a few times by New Zealand mucking things up. Geordie Barrett and Perifetta bungle the passes on the first move. In the scrum, England really struggled at the beginning of the first half. They got it a little bit better in the middle and then really struggled when Fletcher Newell came on, the first scrum immediately going backwards. Marcus Smith, once again, a mixed bag for him, I would say. He goes for a drop goal that's nowhere near. D-Mac launches a counter-attack, chips and goes for it. Cody Taylor is free and they could have scored there, but Freeman does really well to scramble and England survive. So definitely England scramble a few times, get away with a few things, as New Zealand probably looking the most dangerous ball in hand. One area where England probably won out is the line out, something that the All Blacks are going to have to work on a lot. They really disrupt when New Zealand actually landed from the line out as well. Cunningham South this time, forcing a knock on 8 minutes and a scrum, but Will Stewart is forced to go to ground and they can't get anything going. So that scrum, once again, not a really good launching point, a point of weakness, something they're going to have to deal with if they're going to beat teams like New Zealand. Ardie Savea was on fire, an absolute beast of a carry, probably one of the best carries I've probably ever seen. He burst through Underhill and another tackler, I think it's Earl, then he gets up and makes a load more metres and it creates a try. It's just so good, that carry. Talea eventually spotting the pick and go that his opposite number Faywabus, who had gone into the ruck, and he picks and go, snipes around the side for a great try. Lovely conversion from McKenzie. Both kickers, McKenzie and Smith, kick better in this game, so they'll be happy with that. So 7-0, deserved lead from that unbelievable carry from Ardie Savea. But England come back with one attack, one try. They struggled to make clean breaks in this game, but their crossfield kicks were on the money. They go to the left and Stewart and Freeman engage the defenders out wide. It drags a little bit of space to the right and Smith puts a perfect crossfield kick to the flying Faywabus, steps in between two covering defenders, keeps his balance really nicely for a really good try. Spot on, 7-0. What a start to the game. England second best in the scrum, but New Zealand second best in the line-out. And then Smith goes for a bit of a nothing kick and gifts McKenzie a lightning counter-attack on 18 minutes. He dances past Ben Earl, who didn't have his best game. But Talea, does he back his pace from Freddie Stewart? No, he doesn't. He pops back inside to Perifetta. And to be fair to Marcus Smith, he rescues to cover up his mistake with an intercept. But scary stuff there. England giving New Zealand some counter-attacks, and New Zealand look very dangerous in that opener play, transition, counter-attack. Will Stewart once again in trouble at the scrum, giving away a penalty, 10-7. But New Zealand on 22 minutes in trouble at the line-out for the second time. England yanked them backwards. I think it's a Toji this time. I think they're forcing the knock-ons from Tui Peloto. Good scrum attacking position, but a poor drop from Ollie Lawrence on the carry. It has been Lawrence's Achilles heel in the past and a couple of drops today. Definitely hurt England there. And towards the end of this second half, England enjoy big spells of attack, but the English forwards weren't getting any joy making gain line against that big New Zealand defence. A bit more joy out wide as Lawrence slips through, but players are losing their footing and England can't make anything of it as their defensive work is excellent. And Ben Earl's bad day continues, error-strewn in this game as he mucks up the timing of his passes a couple of times, gets caught at the base by Finlay Christie, who had a big defensive game, so they just can't get it going, but they are getting some decent possession. On 32 minutes, it's New Zealand's turn to attack, and they are looking more incisive, running ball in hand. Rico Ioane stepping Underhill and Stewart so easily. They get a penalty, go to the line-out, but their line-out is an absolute mess and just give it straight to Itoje. So definitely the big weak point for New Zealand in that line-out. Bernal's bad day continues as he gives away a bad penalty, hands on the ground, gives 3 points to Mackenzie, 13-7. Then just before half-time, England's second try from a crossfield kick, and it's just perfect again from Smith, putting it on the money for Tommy Freeman to run onto the ball, full pace, high above his head, two-hand take above Talea, one of the best tries you'll see from a crossfield kick for sure. 13-14, so at half-time, and a great conversion to be fair from Smith, they have the lead. So impressive defence from New Zealand, but that crossfield kick catching them out twice. So into the second half, tight penalty goes against New Zealand, looked a bit tough, but England stretched their lead to 13-17, but they can't score any more points from that point on. They put Tom Curry on again early, but it doesn't really make the difference. Cole's on in the scrum, but he's still struggling. Luckily, the ref is calling use it sometimes, so they get away with a couple. But on 51 minutes, a big error from Sevu Reece kicking the ball straight out when it was carried back. But England just can't make those clean breaks, although they do have plenty of attack, resorting to chip kicks in the end. I think they are missing that injection of pace out wide from fullback that Furbank could have given them. Freddie Stewart can't give them that, even though he tries his hardest. And they're not playing beautifully, but they are at least retaining the ball, and they pin New Zealand in their own half for a good 10-15 minutes. Not the best kicks from New Zealand. They can't get out of their half. Freddie Stewart again showing his lack of agility, getting caught fielding a kick when he had plenty of time to make a counter-attack, and I do think that is a weak link. Sorry to say it, but that is just the case. Then with 20 minutes to go, the killer blow from New Zealand, just a good team try, nice and tidy, crossfield kick to the right, stretches England that way, and then when it goes back to the left, England are stuck with two forwards, Baxter and Itoje, marking Bowden Barrett and some outside backs, and they just struggle to get anywhere near them. Mackenzie putting Barrett away, then Talea gets a stroll in, perfectly executed. England definitely looking a little leggy when they get stretched. 18-17, and New Zealand don't look back there. The English forwards are looking a little bit slow. The New Zealand counter-attack is looking dangerous on every single counter-attack. Bowden Barrett looking very incisive, although he does overcook a kick straight out. But apart from that, he had a really good impact off the bench for sure. England getting a few better launch plays off those line-outs, which are looking pretty good. Lawrence making ground, Faye-Wabusi making ground, but Bowden Barrett with some absolute magic play, getting them out of danger, counter-attacks, cutting England apart for another penalty, 21-17. Interestingly, with 10 minutes to go and HIA sees Stewart forced off the pitch and Smith goes to 15, which actually makes that back three a fair bit quicker, so not actually a bad thing. But New Zealand are taking control, their line-out's a bit better, their scrum is absolutely destroying England. Newell versus Rod just isn't a contest. Itoje's getting tired, coughing up penalties, and a silly one gives Mackenzie a chance to stretch that lead to 7 points, so 24-17. They're not going to lose from here. It's just whether England can get back and maybe get a draw. But England do have an ace card up their sleeve. It's Ollie Slightholme. He is absolutely rapid, probably the quickest guy on the pitch, proving it with his second break as he stands up and goes round Sevu Reece. What a statement from him. And England have some chances towards the end there. Have a load of penalties, have a load of line-outs 5-6 metres out, but New Zealand defend really well. Marcus Smith, who's now playing fullback, as I said, takes a really smart quick line out and makes a break to give another chance to England. They have a big driving maul. It's held up over the line by that man, Bowden Barrett. Some weird TMO stuff that's not worth going into, but it doesn't make a difference because New Zealand hold on for the win. But England, they were close both times, but I think that New Zealand defence really won it for them. The counter-attack, Bowden Barrett, really good, and the scrum destroyed England as well. So I think they deserve the win, 24-17. Let me know what you thought of that game down below. If you like these sorts of match reports, do comment, do subscribe, do like. That would be awesome, and I'll catch you next time.